Oh, snap.
What?
Look, it's a different light. So this is this light.
Oh, okay, boom. Yeah,
So look,
that one's
that's
better.
that light.
That one's better.
That's this dead
one's
light.
Dead. This one's dead.
Let's turn it back on. There's
No,
that.
It comes from a
There's
too
that.
above.
And there's...
Oh! Alright, do that. Nah.
No, it's too much.
We're in. All right, boom. Guys, welcome to episode number 1 of the Sweet Science podcast with myself, Fat Mouse, and who we got with me?
I am Kash, aka Kash, but spelled with a K, not a C.
Boom. Okay, then fantastic.
Just to clarify as well, it's the 22nd of June, 2020.
Boom.
It is a Monday afternoon. Lovely weather
Wow,
here.
I'm not gonna lie, I forget the days, man. I've lost track of time. Yeah. This lockdown has just got me moving a bit strange. Chair's a bit noisy, so you're gonna have to just bear that in mind. Apologies for that, guys. But yeah, so like I said, Sweet Science podcast, episode number 1. Myself, Fat Mouse, Kash. What is it? What we do?
We do a lot. We talk about the fight game essentially. We're two fight fanatics, I'd say, who study, watch, partake in boxing, watch and love MMA. And sort of most combat sports in general. And here we're here basically, we talk about it all the time together, and we thought it'd be best to put it on camera, share it with you guys, and essentially have this dialogue back and forth where you guys can comment, you can speak to us, you can get in touch, and we can share thoughts and opinions on the fight game and what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's pretty much summed it up. It's good. We like to give breakdowns every now and again. We give our opinions of fighters on fights that took place. Again, these things just happen anyway. We thought, why not share them with the world and get your opinions, and then maybe we could spark some, conversation.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Cool. Obviously, the sweet science is what boxing is known as, but there's a twist to it this time around, isn't it? We've called it the sweet science, not just because it's the sweet science and it's weird to boxing. We've
added a bit of sugar to it.
Yeah, we've added a bit of sugar to it. So what we do is I'm trying to reach under the table. Every week, which is how often we're going to record, we are going to taste test a dessert, okay? I quite enjoy eating.
So do I.
And so does Kash. A lot of these discussions take place over a dessert being eaten. So I think, you know what, combine the two together. Obviously, I play on words to some extent, but I ain't got the wordplay that, Cryptocona might have. But, we're here and this is what we do. So we thought, why not bring it over? So this is dessert number 1, as in episode 1. Okay. We're going to plug the name, where we got them from. This is Happy Donuts.
What did we get?
Happy Donuts in Portobello Road, just off the market area. I've been there before, if I'm completely honest. And I'm quite a fan.
I'd never been there before. Mouse told me about it. We went there obviously just before we got here, and I was quite shocked actually. Unfortunately, we were a bit unlucky because it was just opening up, so there wasn't the big variety of the donuts that we wanted. However, we managed to get a few that we thought would be interesting and different. I don't think he's had this. I've definitely not had this before. So yeah, here we are.
If I'm honest, I didn't get something I thought, I'd get that. I just thought, let me try this out. So my one is white chocolate matcha flavored donut. And open it up. Hold on a minute. In fact, you know what?
Just pick it up, yeah.
These had just come out of the fryer. Can you see that? Oh, wow. And so there's white chocolate, I'm assuming, topping, with a little bit of matcha powder on the top. And then, I'm not a big fan of matcha. I find it tastes like fish. Like really, I don't know if it's fish, but there's something really odd about it. But then again, I must have had some really dead
some weird
original matcha, not the fake, not the fake stuff. But yeah, and a bit of white chocolate top. What are they called? Drops, chips on the top. Okay. Wow. Like I said, this had just been fried. What's your one?
Wow.
I mean, it looks interesting, but it just looks like a donut. There's not much of a wow factor looking at them. The ring donuts look a bit like more appetizing, but this is phenomenal because I do know what it's like when you first take a bite.
It smells so
Show
good.
the camera, man.
So basically, what I got was a hazelnut custard filled donut.
Wow.
So it's a hazelnut A hazelnut. I guess they put flavoring in the custard to taste different. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. And then he just
We don't have the technical,
sprinkled some hazelnuts
knowledge
on top.
Yeah, we haven't got the technical knowledge of like what it contains and the process. I just know they fried the donut with a bit of dough. In his case, they threw some nuts on it, and in mine, a little bit of white chocolate and.
Who's going first? I'm going. I'm hungry.
Lad, you know what? I think we do it at the same time.
Alright, free.
Yeah. All right, bismillah. I heard that little bit of crunch on the mic. Oh my days! That makes me happy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would get this again, 100%. You know when again I said I'm not technical, but I think it's yeast, something like that. But they put it in there and it makes it super bouncy. And this is a bouncy. Do you know what I mean when I say bouncy?
Mm-hmm. Fluffy, I think he's talking about.
Fluffy's the word, but it also bounces back. So if I squeeze it, it will come back, and it's like
Spongy.
oh, mate.
It's like a
There's
sponge. You
resistance.
squeeze the sponge, but it comes back.
There's
straight.
resistance on the outside, but as soon as you bite in, resistance is broken.
Mouse, I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah, dead.
I'm not a fan.
No way.
I'm not a
Flavor.
fan. I don't know if what it is. I think it's just because I like chocolate too much, and I can't have anything about chocolate in it. I don't know.
You don't like the flavor?
I think you put too many nuts on it, man. It makes it too nutty. Let me try again. Let me take another bite. I can't.
Keep going, man. Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
I'll be honest. I
Look,
like this, innit?
That's what it looks like when I've opened it up. So you can
have to
see the
twist it over.
hazelnut.
Twist it over.
Like hazelnut custard there. Let me try again. Let me take.
Yeah, I
another
mean
bite.
the filling is just a standard custard filling. I wouldn't actually do that. I'd rather something white chocolatey kind of flavored. But
Oh my god.
the white chocolate topping is mind blowing. Personally,
No,
I'm easily impressed though. I have to say, I am
Nice.
quite easily impressed.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Dead.
So whack.
I'm loving mine. Let me put my phone
Yeah,
here. 'cause
that
it's
was.
vibration.
There's no. Okay, I'll be real with you. This is my breakdown of it. Yeah. Sorry, I don't like talking with my mouth full. One second. Give me 10 seconds, guys.
10 seconds. Listen, we ain't got
Put
the
it to
time.
the side. All right. Basically,
He's parked it up.
like he said, the donut itself is really nice. Cooked perfectly. It's not overcooked. It's not burnt. It's not crispy around the outside. It's soft. It's chewy, and it's got this kind of gooey texture to it, so it makes it nice and easy to eat. Some donuts you can get them. I guess because it's freshly made, it's easy to eat. You can rip into it and it tears easily. However, the filling on the inside is it doesn't taste like hazelnut custard at all. It's very bland,
Is that what you mean?
and it's got this sort of porridge texture to it. It's quite thick and lumpy.
Nasty.
I don't like it.
Okay.
It looks good on the outside, but for me, it's not. I would not. Presentation.
Standard, innit? Standard thing.
Looks, I'd give it a 7. And for taste, I'd give it a 5.
Wow.
4.5 to 5, I'll be honest. 5 because the guy was so nice to us who made
The
it.
guy was cool. We've got a little picture with him. We might even put that up at some point.
Yeah, but
So yeah.
yeah, so for me, taste 5, and the look of it, the appearance is a 7 for me out of 10.
Way. Would you be going there again?
I'd go there again because the good thing is there's a variety of donuts. So I'll probably go for something more chocolatey next time, which I want,
Okay.
because this is probably,
And did you choose that for the sake of the review?
I want to try something different.
Okay.
But again, sometimes different isn't nice.
Yeah.
I messed
So once again, mine was what was yours again? Sorry, remind us.
Hazelnut custard donut.
Hazelnut custard. Okay, so that was a no from Kash, unfortunately. Mine was a resounding yes. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed that.
Man, not
The custard
surprised.
is just standard inside. It's just custard. I get what you mean by the lumpy sort of. It's just the custard powder must have not been mixed if that's how they make it. It wasn't mixed properly. But the topping, phenomenal. The white chocolate was perfect sweetness, because the donut, remember, it's not super sweet, the donut itself. So that's just the right amount of sweetness. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. I would say, if I'm honest, an 8 to a 9, an 8.5 out of 10, quite easy on taste. and you judge the other one on appearance. Appearance is a standard to me.
But you know, what would you give it if you looked at it? What would you give it?
Yeah, it's nothing mind blowing. Obviously, the nice little green matcha powder. That's probably the
It actually
only
looked quite
hint.
nice.
Yeah,
It
that's
actually
the
looked quite
only
nice. Your
hint
one
of
looked
matcha I think that I got from that. But yeah, the appearance was like a 7 out of 10. But it was nice. The whole again, I could receive that and be like, all right then, we're in. You know what I mean? Cool. I guess that's
done.
that's
We're
that
going
out
to
of the
basically
way.
be doing that every week. So,
Just one more time, please. Open up your box because I'm fuming about this.
do you have it?
Off camera, obviously. Off camera, I'm probably gonna batter the rest of it, but I don't know what you lot can see there. But it's he's left. I don't know. He's just yeah. It's not even worth battering. I'm saying that now, but you get me.
It's going to be gone.
So yeah, man.
That's going to be gone.
Today,
off,
like
though.
we said, today's Sunday. It's Monday. Sorry. I do lose track of the time. I lose track of time, days. I wake up. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what's going on. Lockdown has had me just in a mess. I'm honest. Like I like routine. My routine has been flipped completely over. Quit my job. My last working day is June. End of July. Sorry. End of June. But the months, man. End of June is my last working day.
Completely lost it.
Yeah. Obviously, I got furloughed, and I thought, I could do this forever. So you know, it's this staying at home thing. So I quit work. Been working on a few other things, and actually, I found that this is the best thing that's happened to me. This lockdown has been good and bad, man.
Eye-opening.
It's
Very eye-opening.
Absolutely. A lot of people have suffered, and that's very sad. It's not nice to witness. But there are other people that have actually flourished and managed to kind of rise from the ashes, to put it dramatically. But yeah, so we're just kind of all over the place, but we're getting there. But yeah, UFC took place on Saturday.
Saturday night
Saturday
was
night.
a cracker.
It was a cracker.
It was a cracker. We had some good fights.
Yeah, it's not really something I wanted to stay up for.
And there was a lot of people I spoke to who basically said, yeah, that's what they said. But when you actually, if you stayed up to watch the fight, so you saw the highlights, boy, there were some very, very good performances.
Absolutely.
And there was one fight in particular,
Of course.
which everybody was talking about.
Absolutely. I mean, that was fight of the night anyway, wasn't it? It was awarded fight night. That was obviously Josh Emmett versus Shane Burgos. Burgos. I don't know how to pronounce his name when I'm from England.
Burgers.
Exactly. It's just whatever. We call him by whatever he's known by. That was a very good fight. That was a phenomenal fight. It could be candidate for fight of the year. I would be surprised, but I don't think he's going to win.
It's so unlucky.
Obviously, yeah.
It's really sad that they almost killed each other to come second.
Yeah.
Fight of the year.
But Whaley,
any other year they probably would have got it, but because of this year we had Joanna versus Whaley.
yeah, it's just not going to happen. It's not.
I don't think anyone can beat that fight. That fight was amazing.
That fight was.
But let's talk about Shane and Josh first.
Yeah, so I mean, it was good. Both fighters really came to fight. They were not messing about. It was, they were both pressing the action, really bringing it to each other, really just trying to, just entertain the crowd, but entertain the audience at home. But obviously, you can tell they enjoy what they do. They love their craft, and for me, that is a sign of a good fighter, or an exceptional fighter.
Again,
actually,
yeah, they both were coming forward. They didn't stop. It was a non-stop war basically.
Yeah.
And they were cracking each other. Josh was cracking Shane with so many shots.
it was.
And was it first round? He done his knee, and
first
round he done his knee.
He says it was an ACL tear. If I'm honest, it looked like a hyperextension, which I'm not a
It's
doctor,
still
innit?
painful.
But
it's still bad.
A
Still bad.
hyperextension is in line with an ACL tear, ACL rupture. Again, I'm not a doctor. I just know some big words. I'm about to sneeze. No. Apologies. But yeah,
Yeah. So back to what we were saying is
Josh was just eating us. Josh was just throwing them big punches. He was throwing them big bombs, and Burgos was eating them up.
and Josh has got decent pop in his shots.
Yeah,
He's known to be decently heavy-handed. He's got 6 knockouts in his career so far, and he was catching him. But Miles made a very good point to me, is that he thinks that because he dropped Shane twice, didn't he?
Yeah.
He dropped Shane twice, and the reason he don't think he put him away is basically that power that's coming from the base could have been affected by the knee injury in the first round.
So exactly. That's a question that I thought that might be worth bringing up. Is that
Because you've had a
If
bad,
he's
you've had a
not-
decently bad knee.
Yeah, I've got a
decent
mash up
bad,
knee, but we get by in it. But his obviously if his knee is out, and he can't generate that power in the punch anymore, he's got to just depend on the lateral movement of the punch of his shoulders. In fact, to land these bigger punches. So they might have looked as dramatic and maybe perhaps not felt as powerful as we may have seen them to be. But that's not something that we all know because we never got hit with them. But they were big punches, and no doubt,
What a chin.
what a chin on him.
He was literally being lit up, lit up,
he was
he was eating
receiving
the
it.
punches quite well.
It was.
It was a good fight, and Josh is a veteran in the game. He's a veteran in the MMA world, and people who are hardcore fans will know Josh. He's the good thing about this win for him, and it's a very good win for him. Is I think the most important thing is the timing of the victory.
Yeah.
Henry Cejudo.
Firstly, how did he win? Remind us all, please. It was a unanimous decision, right?
Yeah, he won. He won a unanimous
So
decision.
Unanimous decision. I think a couple of rounds.
He's 35 years old, and he fought 11 months ago. So he fought last in July 2019.
Yeah, he fought July last year. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, July last year. So he's been 11 months out of the I was about to say out of the ring, out of the cage. So and especially at that age, you want to be active. You want to try and stay active as much as you can, and it's difficult to come in and out like that. But you put on a good performance.
It was an amazing performance. It's a bit of a tough one. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Because the fight was super entertaining. I'm thankful he won because he couldn't then put it down to his knee injury in the first round. That kind of messed up. That would have messed up the flow of the fight. Or he could have put it down to that. There were two knockdowns. It was a very close fight. Actually, round 1 and 2, I believe. Burgos landed more significant strikes both times.
Yeah.
Just about, literally 1 or 2 more, percentage-wise, 3%, something like that. But it was still a hugely entertaining fight. Obviously, I think if we're going to go back to it, I know a lot of people were saying it could have gone either way. It could have. If you're talking about punch output, maybe. But 2 takedowns, 2 knockdowns. Was it 2 takedowns or 1?
I think it was...
Sorry, one takedown and 2 knockdowns. So 100%
yeah.
takedown rate, ratio, which is good. And 2 knockdowns. That kind of solidifies it a bit.
I know it's not the same as boxing where you get the points for the knockdowns.
Yeah.
But it makes a huge effect on the judges.
Yeah, again,
it doesn't matter what people say and argue. If someone knocks you down twice in the ring, in the round, or sorry, not in the round, but you get knocked down twice in a fight, it's going to have a huge effect on the outcome of the fight.
The judges' decisions. Yeah, I mean, you can see he got up quickly. He wasn't rocked by them. They just knocked him backwards, and he fell to the.
To be honest, they look more like balance issues. To be honest. But he was getting hit. He was getting hit
hit, and that's just how it worked. But I mean, yeah, that was a good fight. We mentioned Josh Emmett's age, obviously 35. So Shane had a 6-year advantage. He's 29. He was the busier fighter as well. He fought in November last year. So again, it's marginal. But yeah, you mentioned Cejudo's tweet.
Yeah, I just mentioned Henry Cejudo because he just recently retired a couple of weeks ago, and this is why it's really good, and the timing I said is very important for Josh, is because this is his sort of last chance at running for a title. He's got some good victories against Ricardo Lamas and Michael Johnson. His last win was against Miocic Bektic, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he won that. It was a first round stoppage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was performance of the night.
There you go. Yeah, performance of the night. So he's building up some momentum, and I think this is his last push for the title, if he can get there. And Cejudo tweeted on Saturday, the night of the fight. It's beautiful, along the words of, "It's beautiful for these artists to carry on working in my division," and emphasize his division. So you never know with Henry. I think he left the division too early. I think he should have carried on fighting. I think. But again, nobody knows what the reason is. He's come back with a few things and said that
he's quite happy with retirement, though. I think
content.
He's quite content with it. He's mad achievements. 2-weight champion in the UFC plus his Olympic gold. So
Triple C.
Well, there you go. I don't blame him for retiring, but then if you love the game like you say you do, then you need to be competing non-stop. That fire shouldn't go. Once it goes, that's it. Dana says.
This is the problem. Though. I don't think he's retired because he hasn't got the fire. I think he's retired. I think he's taken a retirement. Just how these guys do it. He's going to come back, probably get paid more, a bit more following. I think fighters do it now. It's normal now for some reason. The norm has become, if you're not happy with your pay, retire, and they'll call you back.
Have a little sulk about it. Come back when the money's a bit bigger, because people want to see you come out of retirement. It's a template, I guess, but it's an odd one.
Is pay an issue though? Is pay an issue in the UFC? Because we're seeing so many fighters now come out and complain. We're gonna get onto Curtis Blades anyway, but he had the same thing. He complained about his pay recently.
I mean, it's the whole spectrum of the fighters. They all, across the board, a lot of them are not happy with the pay. It doesn't matter what level they are, but it seems like the more elite the fighter, the less happy they are with pay. The more they've been paid, the less happy are they. That just sounds like greed, but at the same time, you're putting a lot on the line. You're generating a lot of money for the UFC. You're generating a mad amount of money. So maybe that should be reflected in their pay.
I've seen some of the purses, which alleged purses anyway, for some of the top names in the whole of the organization, and the thing is, you can't compare it to boxing.
Absolutely not.
Me and Master spoke about this so many times. It's like chalk and cheese. You can't compare it, and it's different, and it's.
But the UFC and boxing aren't at the same stage anyway. Yes, they've got a massive following with the UFC. A lot of people want to see them fight, and it generates a lot of money. But boxing is almost like Hollywood now. Do you understand? It's like everybody wants to go and see it. It generates mad amounts of money, and this is just still building up. It's been how many years? 15 or more? Maybe even more than that. But it's been a long time. Yeah. So it's a lot of years that it's been building up to. But it's just not quite that. You can't compare the two. Centuries for boxing. Do you know what I mean? Let's be realistic with it. But their pay, I can see that it will increase gradually over time. I think other sports, they have like a 50-50 ratio, or ratios that make sense, not arbitrary figures. Oh, you're going to get 75k for this fight, you're going to get 18 or 180, or however it works. I mean, they're not just random figures. It's relative to what they what revenue they kind of bring in. So that makes a lot of sense.
This is why you see so many UFC fighters now taking shots at boxers. Is you see Dillian White and Francis Ngannou talking back and forth, and you've seen boxers, and you've seen UFC fighters challenge boxers because they know that's where the real money is. They want to make the big fights and make the big money. So I think they like Marcy just said, they're on the come up. They've been on this cusp really of achieving something really good, and they signed that deal with ESPN last year. And they're building, and I think because the lockdown came at the worst time, because they had some super fights that they wanted to put together, 100%. And the lockdown kind of slowed everything down. But it's picking up, and for Dana's sake, I guess he just needs to carry on doing what he's doing, and everything will be all right.
It's mad though. I mean, again, pay we could talk quite a while about. There was a comment. I was watching a video on Chael Sonnen's YouTube, and he was talking about. He was in London years ago, and McGregor was relatively unknown at the time, and somebody threw a question out. I can't remember who was asked about pay, and then McGregor, I think he interrupted and he said, "Listen, man, we're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the passion. If you're doing it for the money right now, you're in it for the wrong reason. We're here for the love of the game, etc." But obviously that's how it starts out. But then when you realize what you can be making, you see what I mean? You realize what you can be making. You think, well, I've got to be making more. Of course, some people have
that's what happens though.
Jobs as well as this.
It's like when you grow up and then you end up having kids and family, and you need to get a job to provide. At the beginning, you're running around and you're playing football all day in the park, and you don't care about anything because you ain't got bills to pay. But then when it gets to that stage where you've started to earn decent amount of money, and then you're thinking to yourself, I'm putting my life on the line. I've got kids at home to feed. I've got to pay bills. I need to do this and do that. Then you start to realize that maybe I should be paid my worth, basically.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. They don't at the beginning of a career, no one knows what they're worth, and no one can sort of put a figure on what they're going to end up earning, and and how big of a career they're gonna
The
have.
thing is, yeah, I mean, when you talk about knowing your worth, it change in the UFC and places like that, it changes with, it could potentially change with 1 or 2 losses. It's not the same like boxing. 1 loss and you kind of just, you're worthless. But 1 or 2 losses and
that's the
worth
crazy,
just
and
drops.
that's why they're quite lucky in the sense
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if
yeah.
you lose in boxing, you're gone. No one talks about you. You're basically, in other words, in people's words, most people's words, you're a bum all of a sudden.
You're a bomb.
Because Mayweather, it's because of Floyd, basically. Floyd created this air about being undefeated, and everybody wants to protect that. Really and truly, some of the greatest fighters in history
Of course.
have taken multiple L's, loads. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this money thing is. I don't think they're being paid as much as they should be paid. Some of the guys.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, you know, it's a different.
It's how it is, isn't it? If you're not
happy.
happy, you got to leave. Simple as that, man. I mean, you have a choice.
The art of
obviously.
negotiation.
There you go.
You got to pull some strings to make it
of
work.
your worth. You got to convince somebody of your worth. So that's a massive part of it.
Back to the card though.
Yeah.
We touched on Curtis Blades about complaining about the pay.
Yeah, but I mean,
He fought against Alexander Volkov in the main event.
what do you think of that fight?
It was weird. It was strange because I thought he performed very well. I thought he was dominant. I didn't think he looked in trouble at all. Huh?
Dana didn't think that, did he?
Exactly, and that's what I was confused about because I was listening to Dana and you saw it yourself.
Yeah.
Dana was ripping
He
into
was
him.
fuming about that, man.
I need to drink. Those nuts are strong, man.
Serious. But yeah, man, it's it was a good fight. Blades dominated 100%. He dominated the fight.
Donut taste gone down again. I'm giving it a 4.
It's mad.
I don't know what is. I think those hazelnuts are
It just did.
crazy aftertaste, man.
No, spiders, man. But yeah, his stand up was good, innit?
Yeah, he looked sharp on the feet up to round 3.
Yeah.
If you saw his interview afterwards, he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was gonna start crying.
Yeah, round 3. By the
couldn't
end of
breathe.
round 3, he was gone.
But again, it's his style, man. He puts out 150%. He shoots so much. He shoots so much.
He's not a. He's a.
And you got to remember,
man.
Volkov is 6'7", weighing about 250 pounds. He's a mammoth of a man. And if you're shooting all the time, someone that heavy, trying to literally grab him and drop him to the ground, you're expending so much energy, and he's striking at the same time. I mean, I thought it was a good performance. Volkov is a very awkward, experienced fighter, and he's been around the game for quite a bit now.
Yeah.
But Curtis, in my opinion, is just getting better and better.
He's yeah. I mean, it was a good fight. I don't agree with Dana White's comments, but I did think that you come with so much. But it happens all the time though. You came with bare smack. You came with a lot of hype talk. Everyone was like, "This guy's gonna just smoke him," but. You can never guarantee that, so we know it's just like pinch of salt in it.
If you know Curtis, you know he's not that kind of guy. He's not going to come out and start you in round 1.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of guy. Like they call him, some people say he's the Khabib of the heavyweight division. He's going to grapple you. He's going to try and maul you. He's just going to try and take you down, wear you out, and go for a stoppage with some ground and pound. Basically, that's what he likes to do. He's got pop in his punch. Every heavyweight can knock anyone out. It's not a joke in that division. But he even tweeted saying, "I am going to grapple him and maul him," basically. So I know he talked a lot of, shit beforehand, but that's what the fighters do all the time. I just think Dana was a bit harsh on him.
Yeah.
When I was listening to it,
we know he's got favourites, though, innit? We know he's got favourites, and I think
Dana wants Ngannou to win the title.
That's
desperately.
because it's reflected. I think his favourites are what's the bloody word, man? Influenced, by who makes him the most money, and I don't think Blades is going to make it as much as Ngannou is, innit? So he will.
Curtis won't sell.
The viewers,
Curtis doesn't sell.
Yeah, he will influence
he's a good
the
fighter, but
and the audience and the fans with his opinions and say, he's not gonna. What do you guys think? You think he's gonna get a fight again? You think he's gonna get a shot at the title?
Yeah,
he's not gonna.
Yeah.
But that's because you don't want him to.
He probably he deserves one. Not next, but he definitely deserves one after Ngannou.
It should be coming up. Yeah.
Because once Stipe and DC fight, and DC wins. Wins that third fight by stoppage.
This guy's already sure of it.
Yeah.
He's already sure of it. I don't know about that, man.
DC will win.
I don't know.
This is what's gonna happen. I'll tell you, Mystic Kash. DC's gonna knock out Stipe or stop him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I'll get onto that.
All right then.
He's gonna sail off to the into the sunset with his belt.
Look at this guy. Are you hearing yourself?
He's gonna go straight to Popeyes and buy a big bucket.
Bit of chicken and
he's gonna retire happy. Happy. Drop that belt, and it's gonna be Stipe and Ngannou rematch.
Let me give you the alternative reality. Yeah? So they have a third fight. Okay, obviously seal of the trilogy.
Yep.
Stipe, it's kind of proven that he's better standing up. He's got more power.
Yeah, I won't argue with that.
But he's got the ability. He's knocked him out. We've seen him do it before. I know your opinion is that DC got a bit complacent, but
he did.
He may have, and he was losing the fight again. Arguably, he was losing the fight in the second.
Who? DC?
No,
Stipe
was losing the fight in the second matchup, or the second time they met. But the fact is, he won.
Okay.
He couldn't get back up off. Well, he lost the fight, didn't he? He got knocked out.
Yeah.
And it's one of them ones where that could easily happen again.
Of course.
I think there needs to be a lot more from DC to prevent it happening, because if he does get rocked, it's going to be game over for him again. And he will get rocked because, he's relatively susceptible. I think, DC's the better wrestler, better grappler, better on the ground. Arguably, like, people will be surprised, but just because he's the smaller man doesn't mean he's not the stronger man. Yeah, no. He's physically, he's like a bull. What's that? He's a short youth. Of course, he's short, and he can actually generate quite a bit of power from it with his height, with his
I think the best way for him to beat Stipe would be apply the same pressure he did in the second fight. Exactly the same thing. I know Stipe's not.
So you want him to follow a game plan? Did you just say that? Do you want him to follow a game plan which lost him the fight last time?
But this is the thing, though. When Stipe, but listen to this.
He needs to do exactly the same thing as before, and he's gonna win.
No. This is different, though. Listen to this. What he did is when he started getting clocked to the body, he didn't make any adjustments.
Yeah.
He carried on striking where he should have really tried to take the fight to the ground.
Yeah.
You're losing stamina. You're getting hit to the stomach consistently. He was getting hit, and he wasn't even blocking. He wasn't trying to move. And he's not that type of fighter where he's going to try.
Reactive.
He's not moving around exactly, and he didn't. The reason, and he says it as well, and his coaches were telling him, take him down, try and shoot, and he wasn't doing it. I don't even think he went for one takedown. I don't think there was a single takedown attempt in that fight. And this is where I was confused. Is you're a better wrestler than him. You're better on the ground than him. Take him down and use your strength.
100%.
Try to. You've taken down nearly everyone you've been in the ring with, been in the cage with. Why don't you do it again? I know it's easier said than done, but this is where I think it will be different. I think that
he shoots and
Stipe
exactly. He rocks him. Then what? What?
He's not.
I don't understand this. Like, you're saying this with your chest. Mr. Kash is saying this with his chest. He's not going to rock him, but in their last fight, he got knocked out.
I want a happy ending.
Okay, we'll see. I've
had enough of DC crying. All right, I've had enough of it.
He does get emotional when he gets concussed.
It's a good fight. I think Stipe's amazing. It's a pick 'em fight. It's a 50-50 fight, but I just think DC will learn. The thing is, he won the first fight. Yeah, quite convincingly. He sparked him out. Second fight, he was winning the second fight, and then from his own mistakes that he made, and Stipe did, made a few adjustments and worked on what he was doing wrong. Came back and won the fight, but DC knows and he's comfortable that he was winning the fight. Third fight again, I think he's going to stay consistent, follow the game plan, and he's going to get the victory. That's what I think.
I mean, I see Stipe winning that one again. I'm happy for either one to take it, to be honest. Occasionally I have to sit on the fence, but I do see Stipe winning it again. I think Stipe's stand-up is a lot better. I think he can protect himself from the takedown attempts. If he can, if he stuff those attempts, then keep it standing, and he could just once again just repeat last time's victory. So we'll see. That's one win either side. We'll see who's right on that one.
We'll come back to this.
Still a while away, isn't it? But yeah. Who else have we got? Is it on the same card? Is anyone else on that card? When's Whittaker fighting till?
Well, I think the thing is the DC Stipe is on August 15th. Dana says it will probably be at the Apex Center, which is crazy because it's a super fight.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's the same situation.
The same with Ferguson fought Gaethje. It was just weird, but they've also announced recently, a couple of days ago, they announced Whittaker versus Till
Yes.
at 185, which is another super fight.
That's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm looking forward to that. That's something I'll definitely stay up for. Just drop my phone. It's definitely something I'll look to stay up for. Again, I'm not the type to stay up for all the fights. If I deem them unnecessary, and I've been stung as a result because I miss some crazy classics.
And now he's got no choice. He's staying up for every single
100%.
fight.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna never sleep.
He's gonna
Essentially,
have 10 coffees and
Yeah,
10
me.
Red Bulls before.
yeah. But Till's moving up in weight, innit?
Yeah, Till's two. Yeah, he moved up. He's moved up.
Yeah.
He's staying in his weight now,
He's happy
185.
with his weight. Yeah.
I think it's a better division for him. I think he's a huge guy. When he was fighting at 170, he looked like a tank. His legs are thick.
Yes.
He hits hard. He's got a thick neck, and you see the way he bulks up when he's out of shape. Sorry, not out of shape. When he's out of the gym and he's not training, he's not in camp. He's a big guy. He walks around at like 220, 230.
That's the typical
It's
UK
house
fighter,
thing.
man.
It's house thing. He loves it. He loves his food.
Yes.
He loves his food. It's the best.
For real. But yeah,
And he moved up. Last fight was against Kelvin Gastelum.
yes.
Don't make the joke, please.
All right, hold on 1 second, please. Can we take this off at least, just for a second? Yeah. Now I want you to look dead in the camera. Take off those glasses. Yeah. Even the cap if you feel like it, but that's up to you.
Trim's dead.
Okay, don't watch that. It's a lockdown thing. Guys, have a quick look at this guy, innit? Are you telling me he does not look bang like him? We met him in Dubai for the Khabib.
I'll put a clip up of me and Kelvin.
Yes.
And you'll see us side by side.
They look
I
bang
look
the same.
nothing
All right,
like
cool.
this guy.
The guy said, hey, you look like me. Don't try it, bro. The guy said, raw, like, this is a mirror match.
Listen, I've been called Kelvin Gastelum for the past couple of years,
Shadowboxing.
yeah?
100% you look like him,
And
bro.
I don't know. I don't think I look like him. Good fighter, though. If I fought like him, it'd be amazing.
No, it'll
but
be alright still, innit?
I think I fight better.
Still. All right, man. But yeah, it's a mad fight, though. Whittaker versus Till.
Do you think it's a crossroads fight? Because I do.
100%. It's make or break, really.
Yeah.
But it's a shame because both of them are coming off relatively recent history, losses and their careers kind of look. It's like a career defining thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like if Till wins, fantastic. He's just come off a decent win as well.
Yeah. But before that, he lost
Exactly.
2 in a row.
Yeah. And rocketed Masvidal to stardom as a result as well.
Exactly.
So,
Realistically, people forget. Till was meant to be the man. People have already forgotten when he knocked out Cowboy. The Till bandwagon was not even full. What was it? What's the word? There was not enough space. People believed that Till was going to be the next sort of McGregor kind of guy, loud, brash, hits like a truck, like Dana says, he hits like a truck. And then he beat Wonderboy, which was quite controversial. I had Till winning, but I could have seen it going either way.
Yeah.
And then he got rushed into that. They literally shoved him into that title fight against Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
And this was when Woodley was killing people.
Yes. Yeah.
Woodley was, well, he wasn't killing people,
No,
but
he was. Yeah.
Woodley was
top of the game, man.
on top of the game. He was easily top 3, top 4 pound for pound in all weight divisions. And it was weird because he went in there and he was like a deer. Was it a deer in headlights?
Yep.
He was just sort of didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
His stand up wasn't there. He looked gun shy.
Yes.
And then he got was it Darce choke? Got choked out. And it was funny because one of the commentators that Till's not the tapping type. He's tapped.
Yeah.
Within seconds. And after that, I think it killed his confidence because he had this big sort of. He talks a big game.
Yeah.
And when someone talks a big game and they take
that's
a
what
loss,
Scousers do, though. That's what
Yeah, they all
Scousers
do.
I love to them. You know what I mean? They're amazing people. You know what I mean? But that's what they do, man.
no.
Even though, it's
But
just,
again, I just I think it's definitely a crossroads fight. You're right. Just because he's lost his out of his last 3, he's lost 2,
yes.
and Whittaker's just come off probably the biggest loss in his career.
Yeah.
And it
come on.
was,
But that was, yeah.
and it wasn't just
sick fight.
a loss. It was a
If you're gonna
devastating
lose,
loss.
it was devastating. If you're gonna lose to somebody, Adesanya's not a bad loss, though, isn't it?
No, of course not. No, it's not bad, but to him it was. Cause
Yeah. It meant a lot to him.
They kind of like. I've got this weird sort of love-hate relationship between the two because they're from the same sort of region in the world. But at the same time, I know Whittaker's not the talking type, and Adesanya is, and he didn't really like it. But Adesanya didn't really.
I don't think it's a love-hate. I think it's just a hate, boy.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't. Whittaker didn't like him going into the fight, but he keeps it respectful. He kept it respectful.
Adesanya didn't really say much. Adesanya just said, "I'm going to beat you. I'm going to whoop your ass."
Come in, flipping, body popping, break dancing all the way.
That was
But
amazing.
you know what?
That was probably the best
That was a warm-up.
performance as a whole because it was a performance beforehand, and then he came in and then just shut the show down.
But you could just tell that was a testament to how cool he was. To understand how ready he was and just sure of himself. So to be honest,
but then was Whittaker ready for that fight?
Why wouldn't he have been ready?
Because of all the injuries, he hadn't fought in almost a year, I think it was.
Injuries,
and he came back, and then the first fight you're taking is you're a champion, so there is no easy fights. There's no easy fight ever. As soon as you become champion, there's no easy fight, especially in the UFC, because anyone can stop anyone. There's so many ways to win, but you're taking on the biggest rising star, and in most people's eyes, or some people's eyes, fighter of the year last year.
100, well.
It was him and Masvidal. It was a toss-up between the two.
Yeah, exactly.
But Masvidal won it. But Adesanya...
I wouldn't have given it to Masvidal, but, it's whatever.
We'll talk about that. I would have given it to Adesanya, though.
It's just about sensational. Like, how sensational was Adesanya? But again...
But this is why I think that's ruined Whittaker's confidence.
Yeah, it mashed him 100%.
Killed him. He's killed him, literally. He's not the same.
But that is the case with any loss. That's the case with any loss.
A few months ago, he said to Ariel Helwani he was considering retiring. He didn't want to do this anymore. He fell out of love with the game. And
falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love.
And it's weird because when you do that, when you do fall out of love with the game, you don't come back straight away. You don't come back in a couple of months. It takes time to find that because it.
Yeah, but the longer you leave it, the more rusty you are, innit? The more rusty.
I get it. But then this is what I'm saying: is he coming back because of the money? Is he coming back because he's scared he's going to get rusty?
We'll find out what happens, innit?
And he just hasn't looked the same. He just hasn't looked the same since those two Romero wins. Yeah. Even though he won the fights, they took a lot out of him.
Yeah.
So when you have a war like that and you go to war, people don't realize. Some people you don't understand.
Yeah, so
that it has a huge effect on you afterwards. Yeah. You might not be bruised up and cut up as much as the other guy, but when you're standing there and trading with someone like Yoel Romero, who's basically superhuman, you're fighting a man with no neck.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, he walks around like that.
Yeah, it looks like a turtle, man. But that's
literally.
Yeah.
Like that. Do I look like Yoel Romero right now?
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
Mike. How is it, Michael Bisping? How's he call Michael Bisping? I love you, Mike. I love you. I love you like my.
He just keeps going.
Call me Yoel Kash.
There you go.
Carrero.
There you go. He'll do these things occasionally, and we just have to just nod and put up with it. But yeah, man, I've got Till for that fight. I think he's just got a lot more. He looked good against Gastelum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he looked very good.
He stuck his game.
And Gastelum's a good fighter, underrated fighter.
Yeah, 100%.
And he looked very good. He looked good. I think he's on the high since winning.
Yeah.
Momentum's key. You know about momentum. It's so important in this game.
And he's got belief in himself. He's always sure. Obviously, he's going to win. But then sometimes it's not gone his way. But he doesn't stop. For some fighters, that will put them off and make them just like think, that's it. I'm going to give up or whatever, because they can't take it. But actually, again, it's a sign of a real champion, a true warrior, when you're able to kind of come back off these losses, and sometimes they're humiliating. People are going to be talking crap about you the whole time, and just come back and prove them wrong once again. And I think that's where he's heading.
Both.
And I've got him. Yeah.
Both are good fighters. They've got good records, and they've got good names on their records, win or loss.
Yeah.
Look at for example, you look at Whittaker.
Yeah.
Mate, he's beat Romero twice, although very controversial.
Jacare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jacare is a beast.
Yeah.
Uriah Hall
has
won.
Exactly.
And his recent loss, obviously, Adesanya's world class elite fighter. But then there's one fighter in particular who they've both fought.
Oh snap! Wonderboy
Thompson,
Yes,
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and I know, but the thing is, Whittaker fought him in 2014, I think it was. So it was a long time ago, 6 years ago.
Does that benefit them? Does that benefit him at all? That they've got a mutual.
If it was as closer to the time, I would have said yes, because I think a lot has changed since then. He's moved up a division. He fought Wonderboy at 170. Yeah. He's moved up to 185 now. He's beaten a lot of the big, dangerous guys at 185. Yeah. And I think Wonderboy was, when he fought Till again, wasn't the same fighter he was a couple of years ago when he first walked into the division. But yeah, I mean, Till beat Wonderboy, even though it was controversial. So it's
I mean, if you're going, losses were a bit savage, innit? So the two. Yeah,
Till took two bad losses because first one was when he was undefeated and he was on the up. And he was meant to win in Liverpool. Yeah. It was in Liverpool. He was meant to win the title, and he got choked out, and then he got knocked out by Masvidal in the UK again. So he's had bad luck at home. So it's not nice, but we both got Till winning that. I think comfortably. I think he'll stick to the game plan and just keep him on his feet. He doesn't want to go down to the ground, even though he's got decent ground game. Yeah. I think if he stays on his feet, stand up, no one can touch Till, in my opinion. His boxing IQ, his foot movement, his head movement, balance.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got distracted.
I really like it. So, and then moving on from that one is finally, we found out about Fight Island.
Oh, what a lovely idea! What a great solution to a huge problem.
I don't know. It made no sense because it's not Fight Island.
Yeah, well, is he?
Sorry.
It's cool, but yeah, Fight Island. So I don't know what you guys expecting it to be or were expecting it to be. It was, I thought, some mad tropical paradise.
So upset, man.
Runways all over the place, just octagons left, right, and centre. But nah, it's some any dirty little Dubai, UAE island. But it's where they had
Khabib and
Khabib, yeah. So that we went there.
We went there in September to watch Khabib and Poirier, and atmosphere is amazing.
Yeah,
it's a nice place. Don't get it twisted. It's Abu Dhabi, but I didn't understand the way they built up Fight Island was that they were gonna have. I thought Dana had his own island.
Yes,
separate to everywhere, like in the middle of nowhere. Just imagine it on the globe right now, a little dot, and just all surrounded by water. And then you fly there, like you said, land in. And you go straight into the fight. You're in your kit and you go straight in.
This guy's so stupid.
But it wasn't like that. It's not. It's just. It's a normal.
I think there's amusement parks and just general things around there like this.
There's a racetrack there as well.
Yeah, but was it Ferrari World? A whole bunch of stuff there. But to be honest, it doesn't matter. He's made something happen, which is again, testament to his business acumen. The guy is just an animal. He didn't stop. He never stopped negotiating. He never stopped thinking or planning or working through this whole lockdown thing. I have massive respect for those kind of people or that kind of situation that he was able to do such or to work such magic given his circumstances. So I think that's brilliant. But yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a
it's a letdown for me.
It's not a letdown. I'm glad to be seeing people fighting.
In the sense that I thought it was going to be something.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. It was underwhelming.
Yeah, 100%. That's the word. 100%. That's the word. Underwhelming.
But I mean,
what is not underwhelming is the fact that we've got three superb fights.
Superb, absolutely.
They put on 3 title fights. July 11th, UFC 251, Fight Island, Abu Dhabi.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Headlined.
It's around the corner, man.
By Kamaru Usman.
Yes.
And Gilbert Burns.
Oh gosh.
Friends turn foes. Frenemy.
Frenemies. So, God. That's gonna be an interesting fight, man. Yeah, do you reckon they're gonna go in there with too much respect for each other? Do you think it's gonna be bad blood? Do you think it's gonna generate bad blood? What do you reckon?
From what I know from Kamaru's a good mate of ours. And
this guy.
Kamaru's a good friend of ours. We met him there we had a good chat with him when we met him in Abu Dhabi. We grabbed him, we spoke to him for a bit. He gave us a good time. They tried to kick
us out of the hotel after that, innit?
Yeah, they got jealous basically. Around, I think the hotel manager, don't talk to these people, please. And then I was like, oh, Kamaru. He's like, what's up, my guy?
Yeah,
come, my guy.
That was interesting.
And we spoke, and he's a good guy, and you can tell he's hungry. This is the one thing that Well, me and you spoke about it literally the other day,
Yeah.
and you said who's the hungrier fighter,
Yeah.
and I was like, of course people will probably think it's Gilbert because he hasn't got the title, and
Yeah,
Kamaru's been doing it.
yeah.
But every performance you see from Kamaru, he gets
He
better
shows
and
his
better.
hunger.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
He got the titles because of his hunger. Do you get me? Obviously, we'll see how this goes, but it's going to be a strange matchup. It's going to be a very interesting to see. I mean, it's not the first time stablemates have fought each other, is it? But this one is going to be.
But they spar together, they wrestle together, they grapple together.
Again,
They've done jujitsu.
They know
each
strengths,
other.
They
yeah.
know their weaknesses. They know almost. It's like a trainer, a fighter, and his coach, isn't it? You know his thoughts. You know what he's going to try next. You can anticipate. It's going to be crazy, I think.
So for those of you who don't know, they are both stablemates at Hard Knocks.
Yes.
And they've been training together for multiple years.
Were they together at Black Zillions as well?
Yeah, they were.
Before they okay.
Correct. Yeah, they were.
Right,
They
so
were
that's
before Black Zillions split. They were together there as well.
Wow, so that's a long period.
And I thought that because they've done it in boxing where you've had two guys fighting from the same camp.
Yeah.
And you've had the head coach train the fighters at separate times. That's what I thought was going to happen, but it's certainly not the case. So we're hearing rumours.
Yeah, Usman's leaving, isn't it? He's moving to Colorado to train with Trevor Whitman.
Yeah.
That's
which I think is a good move for him.
I think it needs to be done, to be honest, because I don't understand the whole sharing a head coach thing. That makes absolutely no sense. How you literally batting for both sides.
No, it's again, it puts you in a weird position. But then when you've got two fighters at the top of their game, in their prime, in the same division, who happen to be from the same gym, what do? Do you do a DC and a Cain Velasquez where you say I'm never going to fight for the title because you're my boy?
Yeah,
you could do that, but then people got it comes back to the pay, and we talk about all these things where people got to pay the bills and provide for
regardless
their
though
family,
to be the best,
and you want to be
champion.
champion.
You got to prove that. So if Usman's got the title now and he's dominating, you want to get that. I don't care at this point. Mutual respect, to be honest, mutual respect with all fighters. Anyway, you're supposed to have this unless he's an idiot. But
Colby,
exactly. But what I'm saying is this is one of the situations where you have to prove it, and you can't let there be bad blood. You can't let there be a bit of taste after it, because
they won't. They're two professional guys. They're two professional guys. They'll go to war. They'll fight. They'll scrap it out, and then they'll go back to being boys afterwards. I just think if we look at it stylistically now, the stand-up game is, I'd say they're pretty even on their feet.
Yeah.
Because Kamaru's not a natural striker, and neither is Gilbert.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that.
But they've both taken big strides in their stand-up game.
Yes, okay, that's better. I was saying, you say he's not a big striker, etc. But I mean, with his last fight with Colby Covington, he didn't even. They didn't go to the ground. I mean, it was a close fight still.
But again, they didn't go to the ground at all, and they just
not a single time.
They just literally, it was a war, it was a scrap.
But there was actual venom. That's not even bad blood. There was venom with these.
But that's why he didn't do it.
Yeah.
If you look at his fights previously, he mauls people. He takes you to the ground. Look what he did to Woodley. And I think the reason is he respected Woodley's striking game more than he respected Colby, because Colby's known for huge punch output, but he's not really known to put people to sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas Woodley hits you and you're gone. He puts people.
He could take those licks.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And when he probably felt the punches, there was probably a few that stung him.
Yeah.
He never really looked hurt, in my opinion. And Kamaru, from what I've seen, has got an amazing chin as well. And so does Colby, to be honest. There was a good fight. But again, it was the respect thing. They didn't like each other, so he wanted to put a beating on Colby.
Yes.
And vice versa. Then we go to Burns' submission game.
Okay.
A lot better.
Him. Yeah, 100%. He trumps him in that one, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So,
his submission game's better. But then Kamaru's also good on the ground because he's a wrestler.
Absolutely.
So it's weird because it's such a pick 'em fight. No one thought that Gilbert was going to get a title shot.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in the picture. I wanted to see
he's a number one
Masvidal
ranked
fight.
fighter, though. I mean, I think he deserves it. I mean, obviously, like you said, nobody saw it coming. He does deserve it. There's maybe more deserving people.
But the thing is, it's not a case that they gave it to Gilbert over someone else. They offered the fight to Masvidal, whoever declined it, it didn't happen. They offered the fight to Leon Edwards, who in my opinion is the most deserving at the moment.
He can't fight right now.
But he can't make it. He said that he couldn't make it because he didn't have enough time, and his gym's closed in the UK because obviously. So Leon Edwards is from Birmingham. He's a UK-based fighter, and most places in the States now are open or you can get in. He can't get into his own gym. So
imagine that.
What's he gonna do? And he's training for the biggest fight of his career, and he doesn't want to take an L basically when he could.
I mean, he definitely deserved it, but I don't know if he can actually make it right now because he's not ready. He's not prepared for the fight now. You know what I'm saying?
He's the best. You've done it spot on. But yeah, Leon's a good fighter. Leon's a very good fighter, and I think he gives everybody hell. But if we're going Kamaru and Gilbert, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Usman, man. Kamaru Usman, man, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Kamaru as well. I've got Kamaru winning a decision.
Yeah, if it's not a decision, I'll be surprised because they will know each other too well for it to be much else.
It's gonna be like sparring, but just try to spar. But whoever gets the knockout, he goes home.
Well, who else we got in the?
Well, again, the card's amazing because we got a rematch.
We got a rematch.
We got not one, we got 2 title fights to talk about, but this one is a rematch.
Yeah,
and it's
we got Holloway.
It's one of my favorite fighters against one of my favorite fighters. It's one of my favorite personalities against one of my favorite fighters. Yeah, that's how I should put it. Holloway's a good fighter, but I like Holloway as a person.
Okay,
but Volkanovski,
you like him as a fighter. Holloway, he's a cool youth, man. He's a decent guy. Like, I do quite like his personality. I see what you mean by that.
He's a good guy and he's a good fighter, but styles make fights. And 100%. Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski 2. I should say Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway is a pick 'em fight. But for me, I'm gonna say it straight out of the bat. I got Volko taking the win again.
You've said that, man. You've said that before. I see why you say that.
I got Volko taking the victory.
Yeah,
I don't think Holloway really. Holloway's a pressure fighter. Holloway is a pressure fighter. 100%. He puts you under underwhelming pressure. He follows you around the ring, and he throws so many shots. His stamina's through the roof.
It's volume, innit?
He's a volume fighter. He's a volume puncher, and he wants to overwhelm you, stop you. He doesn't. He's that kind of guy. He's not a counter puncher, in my opinion. He doesn't fight the best off the back foot. I think he can scrap off the back foot, but he's a guy who's coming forward.
Yeah.
And he doesn't deal with his own style well. He doesn't deal with pressure fighters that well.
Okay.
And people who are stronger than him. You know, when he moved up to Dustin, when he fought Dustin, he moved up to 155. I really thought he was gonna put it on Dustin and make Dustin Poirier really sort of struggle to breathe kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Dustin kept him at bay.
Yeah.
Was cracking him. And I never see Holloway hurt. I've never seen him hurt. Because he's got that Hawaiian chin. But he was getting rocked a lot in that fight. And again, it was that pressure and the punch output that they have. And I just think Volkanovski's a super strong. He's small, he's compact. And you know about these, when someone's small and compact, you can talk about this because you probably know more about the physics about it.
I guess it's just the center of gravity.
Exactly,
center of gravity. The lower you are to the ground, the more power you can generate, essentially. It's just, it is what it is. But I mean, it's gonna be an interesting fight.
I think Volkanovski's a very well-rounded fighter.
Yes, yeah, okay, I agree with that.
I think he's and the thing is, he's not been around for a long time for people to actually know what he can do.
He's not branded himself that well.
Yeah, he's not that kind of guy. He doesn't talk much. Yeah, he's an average bloke from Australia, and that's what he is. An average bloke.
He's a
bloke from Australia.
But what do you think Holloway needs to do though? What changes can he make?
I want him to win.
Oh,
I'd like him to win. Okay. Blessed Express is back, baby.
Yeah.
What would he need to do to beat someone like Volkanovski? I think he needs to make it a dogfight. I think he needs to carry on making it. But the thing is, in the last fight, he was again. He's similar to DC. It didn't look like there was a plan B.
Yeah,
I think they're so Holloway's so used to having it his own way in most of his fights. He's never really had to change his game plan against Poirier, but then people said it was the weight. Give it to him because of the weight, and he got away with it.
That's exactly it.
But then he was in his own division, and Volker bullied him, basically. Bullied him.
Yeah, but Volker,
those leg kicks.
Yeah. Previously, he's been a very heavy guy, though, isn't it?
Those leg kicks were disgusting.
They were savage. But Volkanovski's previously been quite a heavy guy, innit?
Yeah, Volkanovski used to bloody
rugby, was it?
He used to fucking play rugby, and he was about 200 pounds, 250 pounds. Some 250, but
do you not think
200 pounds, 220 pounds. That is crazy, crazy. He fights at 145.
Mad.
He's built like a brick.
Yeah,
he's built like an absolute tank.
Yeah.
His legs are thick. He's a huge guy for his weight division, and he's strong. He's powerful. I just think Max. I don't think Max will be able to take him down and hold him down. It's not his game. I think he needs to fight his natural game, but he just needs to apply constant pressure, walk him down, and keep him at bay with the jab. He's a smaller man. Just throw it out there. Throw it out there. Keep him at bay.
If he's not got, I mean, the jab, obviously, he's going to need.
He's got to check some kicks though, because he didn't check any kicks.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So the kicks is probably a bigger threat to him at the moment, or going into this fight. The kicks, he's probably got PTSD from those kicks from the last fight. You get me? So he's going to go in there very overly cautious of these kicks, of the leg kicks and the effect they had on him before.
Again, it's a mental thing as well, man. It's a mental thing. When you're in there, in Paulie Malignaggi said it best. When you're in there with someone who's just beating you round after round, he's like, Paulie said this, he's like, fuck! Yeah. What do I do? It's just 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, and it's over and over again. Obviously, here's not 10-9 because it's different for that long, but it's a similar kind of thing, when you're in there with someone and he's not going.
If you just can't find an answer, what are you going to do?
It's disheartening for you.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, Holloway's not that kind of guy who's going to quit.
No.
So you just carry on doing your thing, Holloway. Max, you got this. Yeah, but I've got Volkov. That made no sense. I got Volkanovski. But
again, you like both, innit? So
I do. Again, like I said, styles make fights, and I think I don't think Holloway can do much more than he already did, basically, in the first fight.
Yeah. I don't see what changes he's going to make.
I think Volkanovski is just going to get better. I think he can get better.
Yeah, but
in the aspect of, I think he can throw more punches.
Yeah.
And again, he broke his hand in the fight. He broke his hand in the fight.
Yeah.
He broke his left hand in the fight. In the first round, I think it was. He broke his hand, and he was still throwing the hand. He was still throwing punches.
I don't like what you said about Holloway not being able to get better. I think he...
No. I think he can get better as a fighter. I just don't think he can do much more than the first fight that he did to win. I hope he can. We'll be in for a good fight.
I'd like to look into that, actually, and see what his keys to success are, because I think he's...
Yeah, we'll do a video on we'll do another video on these three fights, because the next one we're going to talk about is another cracker. We'll talk about these three fights, and we'll do their keys to success for both fighters.
I like that. Okay, then that's something to work towards, man. I think we've got Jan versus Aldo, also on the card, isn't it?
Petr Yan versus Jose Aldo.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to say we need to keep it moving a little bit, so we're gonna breeze through this just because we've got the boxing to cover and we have only got about 20 minutes left. Yeah. Okay.
I'd say I've got
you're a fan of Jan, innit?
Yes, I am. I think he's a very, very good and underrated fighter. He's not talked about much in the division. It's because probably it's the language barrier and all of that. But he's a dangerous fighter for anyone. Absolutely. You like Aldo?
I do like Aldo. I mean, I'm not a fan like that, bro. I don't know where you got that from, but I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a solid guy. He's previously or prior to the loss against McGregor, he was ripping everybody to pieces, and then. That loss must have, battered him a bit, just kind of disheartened him a bit. But
he hasn't looked the same since then, in my opinion.
Has it looked the same or fought the same?
Both.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Both. You just...
that's what happens, though, innit? I mean, if you're not ready for a loss, if you're on a mad high and you're just a winning streak, this guy's winning streak was crazy. But, to suffer a defeat like that in seconds, like he must have just... It must have just humbled him to a point where maybe you're right. Like it's a case of PTSD. But
the thing is with Petr Yan is, I think it's the new blood coming through. It's a young man's sport, as they say. Yeah, and he's 27. He's only had one loss in his 14 wins. So out of 15 fights, he's only had one loss, and that one loss was a split decision, which could have gone either way against a Russian fighter.
Okay.
I think maybe Dagestani Magomedev. Is it the same first name, the same last name?
Generalizing.
Magomedev.
Okay.
Magomedev.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
but I think he's dangerous on his feet. But he picks his punches well, and he's just an all round. He's a good fighter. You know, he's number 3 in the division for a reason. So I think Aldo won his last fight, but he got robbed against Marlon Moraes.
Yes, yeah.
He should have won that fight. I thought he won that convincingly. I don't know how. It was a tough fight. It was a close fight, but I gave him a close, unanimous decision. He went the other way, and I didn't understand that. So obviously, I understand why Aldo's in the position he's right now, fighting for the title. Yeah. But I think 27 years old, taller man, stronger man. You know,
you don't think Aldo can kind of get back to the stage where he was pre McGregor? No,
I don't think he's mentally strong enough. I've seen him been broken. And he hasn't looked the same since. So
I mean, I've seen physique wise, I've seen him just change mad amounts of change in his body, but I don't think that's a massive. That's not going to affect him in terms of his hunger and his spirit and his and his drive. But we'll see. Again, that's I'm just looking forward to these fights. I think it's all about.
His name is No Mercy, so
yeah.
His nickname is No Mercy, Petr Royan. So
that's a savage nickname.
It's a scary name, man. He's a scary Russian dude. So let's see. It's a good fight though. Probably in the next couple of days or in the next week, we'll release a video of what we think the keys to success for both fighters.
All right,
three fights will be. So.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to.
Let's move on to
a bit of boxing,
baby.
Boxing, baby. And we're going to talk about
it's
big
a shame
news.
Because we could talk a lot about the UFC at the moment because they've resumed and they're really just there's a lot of news just coming out daily. And there's so much we could talk about, but it's a shame because with boxing there's just not that much at the moment. There's dribs and drabs and little bits of information here and look at that, that's interesting.
I mean we've had a few decent cards. We've had
nothing to make me roast.
2 weeks ago we had Shakur Stevenson return. And put on a clinic.
Yes, yeah.
He's another great fighter who's climbing the ranks
absolutely.
very very quickly at top rank.
Yeah.
And like what's his name? Bob Arum says he's my Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
However he says it.
I mean
he's the next superstar at top ranks.
100%. That guy is a superstar. He's made for that as well. I mean,
you think so?
Yeah, 100%. He's getting in terms of personality wise and his not character, but you get me. His the way he moves and the way he is. Okay, he's got stuff to work on, but these things do come anyway.
Yeah.
It needs a bit of branding, if you like.
No, I agree. I think he's a good fighter.
As a fighter, sensational, man. Yeah, I think he's fabulous. He's a massive. He's not a prospect anymore, is he? He's just there. No. I think he's just on his way to stardom very very. But
boxing's weird because it was so dead for a little bit.
Yes.
And then boom, literally out of nowhere.
Yeah, just everybody.
Eddie Hearn comes out and breaks the news that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua have agreed a 2-fight deal in principle.
Shocking.
To take place maybe later this year or next year.
I don't think it's going to take place this year, though.
Oh, of course not.
It's not going to take place this year. It can't happen.
It's fucked.
But there's too much going on anyway. There's too much going on.
That's what I'm saying. 2020 is written off completely.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Unless you get Mayweather and Pacquiao versus McGregor and
Jose
Aldo in a tag team match for the WWE Heavyweight Championship of the World. Tag team titles.
Blood.
Sorry. I lost the plot there. I lost it. Man.
But that would be a mad fight. Imagine. Did you put in there?
I did.
Mayweather
and McGregor versus. I think I said Mayweather and Pacquiao versus McGregor and Aldo.
Bruv, who's going to be fighting who, man?
Aldo fight Pacquiao and McGregor will rematch.
Are they all in the ring at the same time?
Yeah. Tornado tag, that's what we used to call it. That was what it was, tornado tag. Both men in the ring at the same time.
I don't know. If you lot are into wrestling, I beg you just give him a like or something because I don't...
I mean,
I don't business with
who's the best tag team of all time? Leave your comments down below.
guy's really gay.
Legion of Doom.
Okay.
Hardy Boys?
Man speaking another language to me now. I don't know what's going on. But
Generation X.
Let's talk about Fury versus Joshua, man. I'm looking forward to that. I'm licking my lips, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. You've got Wilder, Fury the third.
So big,
if you like, yeah.
Goosebumps.
What?
Got goosebumps thinking about these fights.
Okay, boom.
Potential.
I'm not interested in Fury versus Wilder.
Yeah, but you're being negative, man.
But
you're being negative.
What is there to
barriers?
see? What is there to see?
Stuff.
What is there to see?
Talking about barriers and negativity and stuff like that.
Bruv,
it's gonna happen.
What are we talking about?
Fury Joshua.
Of course, that will happen. But I'm saying you've got stuff to overcome before that anyway.
Yeah, but you're being negative now.
All right, so you want
we
me
don't
to
need to talk about that.
How can you? Are you mad, bruv? Are you
They're
mad
gonna
or what?
win all their fights. It's done now.
All right, and then so what happens when you say this and he gets beaten up by a fat?
He's doing a steep
fat midget.
He's doing a steep.
What happens when he's?
Yeah, but I knew the fat midget was gonna beat him.
Okay, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about the whole world. We're talking about the whole of the boxing community.
Yeah, but he's not gonna fight Andy Ruiz again.
He's not. But you're saying he's gonna win the fight. He's gonna move on.
He's gonna
so
beat
what happens when
Povetkin.
he loses against Povetkin? Then I'm not saying it's gonna happen. What happens?
He
What
hates
happens when
AJ.
Fury-
He
what-
hates
Hey,
AJ.
come back
Just
a
because
bit,
he
come back a
beats
bit.
AJ in the fight, that's why he hates him.
Yeah.
Who wins? You or AJ?
Me and it, obviously. Come on, let's not be stupid now.
Nah, man. No.
But listen, man, this guy's waffling.
Not Povetkin. We're getting confused. He's fighting Pulev.
bruv. Sorry.
He beat Povetkin already. We
100%.
watched that fight live. That was
Yeah,
why.
that was interesting.
Because we were watching
Yeah.
it again the other day.
Snap. Okay,
Pulev.
yeah, sorry. He's fighting Pulev. My apologies. I'm not gonna lie to you. Names, man. I'm terrible with them. I am very bad with names.
No, it doesn't matter.
That's something.
It does matter, but it was
exactly.
It was
I said it,
was
and
a-
it didn't even register.
we didn't even
That's
realize
what
at
I'm
the time because it's part of the same region in the world.
I didn't want to
again,
say
so-
that. I didn't want to say that, but he's got no political correctness about him.
What?
It's terrible.
Set
But
me
yeah,
up.
so we've got Fury versus Joshua. That's been announced in principle, like you said. 2-fight deal. I cannot wait to see it. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of my boy Dillian White. That
Such
guy
a
is just he's just fuming now. He's taking some sort of action now, isn't it?
It's vile. It's a piss take, man.
100%.
It's not fair at all,
100%,
bro.
but he's
This
taking- I
guy
think
deserves. He deserves a title fight more
He's
than.
deserved it for 2 years, bro.
He deserves the title fight more than. Who deserves the fight? Who deserves the title fight the most? He deserves it more than them.
Yeah, he deserves it more than definitely. He's at the top of the list.
Actually, fuck.
He's at the top of the
How
list.
this guy has been fighting everyone
He will
and
take
beating
whoever.
everybody.
Call me the can man.
Yeah, because anybody can get it. African, American, Dominican, anybody can get it. I miss Broner, man. I really miss Broner.
But I wasn't doing Broner. I was doing Dillian White, doing the can man.
But he
thing,
started it though.
Yeah, he did.
But you got to pay homage to the
So
the
why
OG.
did he get backlash for that?
Who?
And I even beat up a Mexican. Why did he get
Just don't like Broner.
backlash
People
for
just
that?
don't like Broner.
I lie?
People don't
Yeah,
like
he's an idiot
Broner.
anyway, he's just mad.
He's a
just reckless.
donut though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Speaking of donuts, that was such a whack donut.
Fuming that for you, bro.
Yeah, but it's Miles has mentioned I have to be realistic and I need to stop living in fantasy world all the time. I think they'll fight, and I don't think they'll lose their next couple
They
of fights.
will make it happen, no doubt. But I'm saying
But
there's
if we're living
things that's in the way.
in an ideal,
Yeah.
if we're living in an ideal world, they'll
Realistic
fight.
world, yeah.
If we're living in a realistic world, and we've got to talk about these fights.
Where we live.
Fury's got to fight Wilder again
Mm-hmm.
for the third time, which.
Again, I'm not going to say, he's going to win 100%, but I do see him winning that one.
So do I. But then again, Wilder's got that one punch knockout power, and again, if he doesn't change the tactics, if he doesn't especially if he don't wear that 40-pound dress suit, coming in looking like bloody scarecrow, whatever he looked like, if he's not wearing that, he's going to win the fight. Apparently, that's what he thinks.
Let's see how that goes. I mean, I don't see Wilder making any. He has to make
Wilder has to
100
catch
fundamental changes
Fury
to start to win.
clean and hold it. Make sure you don't get out before 10 seconds.
Pin him to the ground.
Basically, he's not going to outbox him.
He can't.
There is no
He
chance he's going to
cannot-
outbox him.
He cannot do it. Again,
Fundamentals are
respect
all wrong.
I know he's got a lot of fans in America. I don't know if he's got as many as
I don't think he does. You know, he ain't got.
Fury does in America
talks a
anymore.
big
Now that he's
game.
moved there, but yeah, man, no.
And then AJ's got to fight Pulev, which is a big fight.
That's a big fight. That's a good fight.
Kubrat's very underrated fighter.
100%.
Very underrated fight.
It's gonna be an interesting fight. I think that's gonna be a test for AJ. He's gonna have to stop getting complacent. Again, he's learnt to kind of
This is the thing, though.
not to get complacent.
This is the
after he's
thing.
lost.
We've only seen him. We only saw him in the in the Ruiz rematch
Yeah.
under this sort of new, not style, because it's. I wouldn't say he completely changed his style, but
I think he did.
I think he went back to basics.
Yeah, but for him, he went back to basics. But these basics, I've never really seen from him.
No, I get it. Yeah,
I've never
no.
really seen him dance around the ring. I've never seen him be so light. I've never seen him
He's done it in spots though, in fights like against
disciplined like that.
against Joseph Parker. He moved around a lot. He was getting accused of being said. People said he was running a lot.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That fight, I believe the ref stopped his flow, man.
Who, Joseph's?
Yeah. I think 100%. The ref was just every time they get into a clinch or get up close, the ref would just stop it, and that's when he was getting to work. He was going to the body. He was giving him, his little licks here and there, and disrupting AJ's flow. But the ref just stopped.
AJ's a very underrated fighter. People give him stick because of that Ruiz loss, but people who know boxing knew how good Andy Ruiz was.
But I've never given
said it
AJ
to so many
stick because of
people.
that loss. But I just don't think he's as bum as people make him out to be. I don't think so. I think he's a winner. He's a champion. He's
This
mind
is
and
the
heart.
thing.
He's a champion.
People are too harsh on the guy. The guy won a gold medal at the London 2012. Became professional the year after.
Yeah.
Beat everybody that was put in front of him.
Bro, I
whether
am
they were
amazed.
tomato can, potato can, whatever you want to say, Mexican, American, whatever they were, he beat everybody, and then he beat a lot of decent guys. I don't care what anybody tells me.
Yeah.
When you've been in the game for that long and then you're fighting the likes of Charles Martin, who's, okay, people say he's a bum. He's not a bum. Charles Martin's a very, very well decorated, decent fighter, actually, in the heavyweight
Man said
division.
very, very well decorated, decent fighter. Come on, man.
He's all right. He's not as bad as people
alright.
think.
He's all right, but
But at that time, he was, 15-0, 14-0.
Yes, I know, but that was the easiest route to winning a title.
Okay, then he fought Dominic Brazil.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's a bum.
He fought Dominic Brazil. He fought Dylan White. He fought.
That was a good fight.
He fought Charles Martin. He's fought Carlos Takam. He's fought Vladimir Klitschko.
I'm not taking.
I'm just
anything away
saying
from
people
him.
are giving him a lot more stick than he really does deserve. Because if you look at his resume
Yeah.
and you put his resume side by side with Fury and Wilder,
Yeah.
an accumulation of opponents. His opponents are better than Fury's and Wilder's.
I agree.
Wilder's fought no one except Stavern.
Yeah. And even.
And even Stavern, when he won the title for Stavern, okay, it was a good win.
Yes.
Then he rematched Stavern. He beat Dominic Brazil a couple of years later. Then Joshua beat him. There was no one there. The only good victory that he had on that record was Luis Ortiz,
Yes.
which was the biggest victory
Yeah.
in
that
my
was
opinion.
close.
And even there, he got rocked, and he was lucky to get out of that. But again, he's got that get out of jail card with that right hand.
Yeah. Signature.
And then again, Tyson Fury, in my opinion, okay, he's had 2 wins against Derek Chisora. Again, what do you say about those? Again, you could say the same thing about Joshua's wins. They're average, journeyman, average fight, decent level fighters.
Chisora now and Chisora when
Chisora now
it's
would
different,
give
it's
Fury a
different.
lot more
Yeah,
worse
100%,
trouble than he
100%.
did before.
That guy's putting. He's made it.
But then Fury's biggest win is Klitschko.
Yeah.
You go to Joshua now.
At what point? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And then you go to AJ, and then you look at the AJ fights and wins. You notice Dylan White. You get these Carlos Takam, these good, decent fighters. They're all better than everyone on their record except each other and Klitschko and Ortiz. Do you get it? Because Fury's fought Wilder twice.
Yeah.
I think Dylan White beats Wilder. I think AJ beat.
Yeah.
But then again, you go into that dialogue of comparing records and then fighters against each other. I just think Fury's a better fighter than Joshua. I think Fury will beat Joshua. I just think Joshua gets a lot more stick than he really does deserve, because
I think AJ might
people
have
think
a
he's
chance.
really that.
I think AJ might have a chance against Fury.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Genuinely, so it's
Change your tone fast.
no. I've never said anything. I'm not saying anything bad about AJ. I'm not saying anything bad about AJ. I'm saying I believe that if he goes in there with the correct game plan, and again, that is to stick to the fundamentals. What's his name? Fury is a properly awkward fighter. He's so awkward. He moves around he's lagging.
Weird
He's
things
just
does.
like some turkey. But he's AJ. has been fortunate in that he's not. So, firstly, Fury's not a big puncher like that. I think that AJ can take Fury's power with relative ease. If he can take that power, absorb a couple of punches, and punish him as a result, punish Fury. What happened to him in the Wilder Fury fight number 1? Hit the canvas. He can do that sooner. You get me? If he hits the canvas sooner, and then it happens again, I think he can break him down systematically. I'm not saying
you got to remember in that first fight that they fought, Fury and Wilder. Fury was coming back off a 3-year layoff. Drugs, depression, cocaine.
Arguably, the coke made him better. You get me?
Jan Jones. Jan Coke Jones. Think about it though. He was out of the game with drugs, depression, alcoholism.
He was down and out.
Everything. He came back, fought 2 bums, unknown guys. And then fought Wilder. And people thought, what the hell is this guy doing? Why are you fighting Wilder already? Everybody thought Wilder was going to win by knockout. And he basically danced around him, took the piss out of Wilder basically for every minute of that fight, apart from, I'd say, 15 seconds in round 7 or 6 when he got dropped, and then the last sort of 10-15 seconds when he got knocked down and got back up in the first half
I thought that was a clear win for Fury,
of round 12.
I thought that was a clear win.
Easy win.
We were sat with a few people, and a lot of people saying, no, look, man, it was definitely Wilder. So it was, again, easy to say, okay.
But this is the problem. This is where the knockdown issue comes into play, and this is why people get confused. Just because, this is what I'm going to ask you now, and I want your opinion, and I'm going to ask you guys as well. Say I beat the living daylight out of you for 11 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah. I not even beat the living daylight. That's the wrong way to put it.
Dominated.
I beat you for 11 rounds basically, comfortably, easy, sticking to my plan, jabbing your head off, but I haven't knocked you down. You knocked me down 3 times in round 12. Who wins the fight?
No, but that's not how it works, though, is it? So
no, but that's what I'm saying.
That's a 10-7, right? Sounds like a 10-7. You knocked me down 3 times.
Not actually statistics. I'm not saying. Give me the actual winning.
Okay.
Don't be a judge. I'm saying.
Yeah, but why in the eyes of people?
Why in the eyes of the people or judges?
That's not why he won the fight. That's not why he won the fight.
But he didn't do anything else in the fight.
In your eyes, Fury was dominating, right? In my eyes, the same thing. In my eyes, the same thing. He was dominating. But there are people that said, no. All these pitter-patter punches, they're not having much of an effect. And actually, Wilder's landing heavier punches.
What did he do? He only landed 2.
He landed a few more.
He landed a few, but he got 2 knockdowns.
But they were significant knockdowns.
I don't understand it, though. I just don't understand it.
Fury was practically dead.
How does that 2 knockdowns, and yet the fact he was practically dead for 10 seconds eradicate the rest of the 35 minutes of the fight? Do you get it?
Absolutely.
I don't understand how that makes sense.
Absolutely. But
if Wilder had got the decision, I swear I would have screamed or something. I would have gone mad.
Anticlimactic.
I just would have gone mad. I couldn't have believed it. Even when they said it was a draw, I couldn't believe it.
It was a clear win for Fury there, 100%. Anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? And he proved himself in the rematch, and he actually beat Wilder at his own game and knocked him out. Do you know what I mean? So now I think the next fight, it's not going to change much, unfortunately. I don't think Wilder has any answer for this. I think I've seen a couple of videos of him. And
again, his styles make fights, man. And unfortunately, when someone's got your number, they've got your number. Put it on no caller ID.
He's still
block it. Mate.
He's
still got the number.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Until he gets rid of that number, he's still got the number.
Yeah.
And it's not going to go. And he's got his number. I'm sorry, but stylistically, like Wilder can beat Fury. Wilder can beat AJ. AJ can beat Wilder.
Yeah.
Fury can beat both of them. But then AJ could beat Fury, but Wilder can't beat Fury.
Yeah, I don't think Wilder stands a chance. It's so annoying because we have to weigh these things up, right? As a boxer, in terms of ability and skill and all of that, Wilder has 0. But he's just got that one right-hand delivery system that is just unbelievable. That's the only thing he's got. He's got that one ace or that trump card that can change anything. And he's proud of it. He's like, I don't need to win, 3 rounds, 3 minutes of 3 rounds every round. I need 10 seconds to deliver that right. And that's all it is. And it's such a shame because he doesn't deserve what he's got. You get me? Because
That's wrong
he's
to
a
say.
dead boxer, though.
That's wrong to
No, I'm
say.
saying he doesn't deserve all this, like, he doesn't deserve to be in the, in terms of ability-wise, to be in the same conversation. He doesn't need to be in that conversation.
Of
I
course,
don't think he's
yeah,
earned that
okay,
right.
I get it in that
But
sense.
he's knocked the hell out of everybody in front of him, including Fury, really. Do you understand? The guy, literally, he definitely saw black at one point. And then, he came back up again.
In terms of pure ability, Fury's the best out of the three.
Ability, yes.
Yeah. In terms of pure power, Wilder.
Wilder, no doubt.
but then in terms of actual,
AJ's
I
quite a
think-
complete boxer. Though,
yeah,
man.
exactly, and that's what I was just got to say. In terms of all round, if you were to put a if you were to show your kids basically what a boxer should look like and perform in the ring, you show them an AJ, you show them a Klitschko, a good jab, good right hand, decent movement, blocks well, hands up, sort of upright fighter who hits hard, boom, boom, can move a little bit.
It's typical.
Yeah, a standard fighter,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. But he's a very well-rounded standard fighter, if that makes sense. Fury's the complete opposite. Awkward, complete chaos when he's in there. You don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
You're not worried about the one-punch knockout, but he might catch you one time and actually hurt you really badly.
Yeah.
Because he's got that kind of brute strength, that gypsy strength,
That gypsy
you know?
power.
That dosa strength.
Exactly.
And I think it's very interesting because those three. Then you throw in Dylan White because he deserves to be in the mention.
100%,
Dylan White deserves to be in the mix more than Wilder does, in my opinion.
Well, no shadow of a doubt. But the fact that Wilder's there, adds entertainment. It adds this sort of another unknown, like anything can happen. It's just like it's a question mark going into the fight. Is he going to land it? If he lands it, he's pretty much going to win. Do you get me? So as a whole new dimension, keeps entertaining. Those four, White, Fury, AJ, and Wilder, just provide altogether so much entertainment in the heavyweight division.
So we both agree that Fury beats Wilder.
Oh, come on, let's be serious.
Do
No doubt
we
about it.
both agree that AJ beats Pulev?
We hope so. He should win the fight, yes, but
Okay.
we don't know that. That's you get me. He should win that fight.
So we've got Fury winning, AJ winning.
Mhm.
Do we have? Let's say these guys were to fight. Do we have? Say AJ and Wilder fought when they were meant to.
Yeah.
Let's say forget when they were meant to because that was talked about last year and before they fought. Before Wilder fought Fury, that 50 million deal that was spoke about. If they fought now,
Yeah.
who wins, AJ or Wilder?
I'm gonna have to say AJ. I'm gonna have to say AJ. AJ can take a punch. I don't think he can take Wilder's biggest punch, but he's proven in the Ruiz 2, the second fight, that he can avoid the punches and he can stick to the plan and just not get too rushy. Do you understand? It's not even about complacency, but don't rush in just because you want to beat him to the punch and you want to just put him to the put him
That's
to the canvas.
exactly what the mistake was in the first fight.
Yeah.
He
100%.
saw red
Yes.
and he went straight after it. He saw that he clipped Ruiz, and instead of taking it, this is where the elite fighters are different to
Absolutely.
the great fighters.
And this is where the respect that I have for AJ was increased massively. Was in the adjustments made between the first and the second fight. I was so impressed. I was super impressed.
You can
by that.
tell when you're an elite fighter. You can tell when someone's really badly hurt. You look into their eyes,
Yeah.
you look at their legs, you see their body language, you understand it. Ruiz wasn't really that hurt when he knocked him down.
Yeah.
It was a flush shot. He caught him
flush knock.
because they were exchanging hooks, and Joshua caught him quicker, and Ruiz was, I think he was standing square on, and got caught, went down and got back up quite quickly.
So quick, shook his head, shook it off, and he was fine.
And he fought back, but the reason I don't think AJ read that well is because again he was in America. There's a debut in New York, debut in America. He was in New York, a big fight, and he wanted to just
Statements.
Yeah.
He needed a statement.
He wasn't meant to fight this guy. This fat blob come out of nowhere, and I'm only saying that because that's what people say he is, and took the piss out of him. But really and truly, amazing fight. I don't care what anyone tells me.
Amazing.
He would beat a lot of guys in the division, a lot of them, and he could probably win the title again if you really focused. But we'll come back to Andy Ruiz another time. He got put down. He got back up, and this is where AJ's mistake was. Is again exactly what you said. He rushed straight into trying to clip him again and get him out of there quick. Imagine being in a fight against someone that really is not meant to be in the ring with you. He's not meant to be there.
Yeah, he was just.
He doesn't
so
look the
sure
part.
that
You know what I mean? People were expecting you again. A lot of the hardcore fans knew what Ruiz did, but anyone else was sort of saying, "Who is this guy? How is he even a fighter? He doesn't look like a fighter. He just looks like he had 10 burgers before he got in the ring. What is he doing here?" AJ's meant to go in there and dismantle this guy.
But
get
that
him
was
out
the
of there.
plan. That was the plan.
And that's it. And it was going to. But they underestimated Ruiz.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever do that again against anyone.
That's the whole point. Is to make sure that you learn from these silly little mistakes.
And it was that.
Cost you.
It was that
your
specific.
zero.
What's the word I'm looking for? Not that moment, but it was that specific sequence in that fight.
Yeah.
When he caught him with that hook, he got up, and then you could just tell there was a weird sort of vibe. It was a change. As soon as AJ got hit, clipped with that left hand, where was it? Right on the temple, right?
It was
back of the ear.
He
kind
switched
of
something off there, bro.
That. It went boom.
Yeah. His
And
eyes
he just
changed. He couldn't stand properly. His legs had gone.
he was breathing heavy. He was all messed up, and again too heavy.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about is the reason he did so well in the second fight against Ruiz. He cut down a lot.
That's what I'm saying. He clocked. This is what makes a champion a champion. He realized what his problems were. He acknowledged them. He said, "Listen, this is where I went wrong. I was too heavy. I was rushing in. I didn't stick to the game plan. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I thought I had this fight. I'm assuming, innit? I thought I had this fight in the bag. Let me strip it all back, start from scratch." And that's what he did. He lost the weight. He was nimble. He was agile. He was moving around. Amazing. A lot of people gave him a stick. Oh, he's an Instagram this. He's worrying about how he looks. So he just kept it to himself. He kept his training to himself. He didn't.
I didn't even have a trim for the second fight. Do you remember? He didn't even get a trim.
Yeah.
No trim.
So he did
I like
what
that
he had
rule.
to do, man. He had to do.
He was basically in quarantine.
Yeah, for real.
That's what it was. He 18 stone Joshua is too much.
No doubt, bro.
17 stone Joshua, 17 and a half, perfect. Good weight for him. He still carries the pop. Doesn't matter what anyone says, but he's lighter on his feet. He's nimble, like you said.
The guy was moving,
and he retains that stamina that he needs. Because when you have when you're carrying that much muscle mass on you, you need to be able to breathe. You need as much.
Yeah, but you can't move around with that much muscle mass. That's the whole point.
Exactly, but this is what his problem was. He's just too big. Too big.
He fought just. It was a masterclass. The second fight, was just a completely different person, and I was so happy to see that. I was very happy for the result because again, I was sure he is not winning this second fight. But I was very, very happy to see that, and I can't wait to see him beat Pulev, hopefully. And I'm just ready for the Fury fight as well. Him and Fury twice is gonna just give me a semi. You get me? Like let's be serious, man. I want to see these fights, man. Let's be real. I like this stuff, man.
Damn.
So
No. It's a good fight, and I'm excited. I cannot wait for what boxing has in store for us because Eddie Hearn has got some secrets that he's probably been holding in.
Yeah.
Oh, and also random. I think Tyson Fury is going to be in UFC 4.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't know what he's in. Imagine Tyson Fury in little shorts.
Yeah, but is he?
How does he do it? What's that noise?
What are they
What's that
gonna
thing
do?
they does?
Ooh. Is he gonna feature as a fighter? Like I know they were talking about this recently. Dana White was talking about it recently, but is he actually?
Yeah, they're
gonna
gonna put him in the strawweight division.
What? Are you chatting rubbish?
Of course not, strawweight.
So what are they?
His fingers are straw.
Why is he here? Why is he?
He's gonna be as a fighter. He's gonna be put in.
Are they gonna give him a ground game? Is he not gonna know?
He's gonna be submission artist, BJJ.
No, but what?
He's gonna be a black belt in
jiu-jitsu. It makes no
jiu-jitsu.
sense. This is more stupidity.
It's fun, isn't it? Why is?
Okay, it's a load of fun, but this is just stupid. Why would you? I'm never gonna choose him.
They should put him in the WWE game.
Yeah, that makes more sense, sir. That makes more sense. He was there, innit? Of course he was there. That makes more sense. Why are they gonna put him in the flipping? You write to Vince McMahon or whatever and tell him, listen, put him.
I'm gonna call Vince after. Yeah. Vince, listen, I'm gonna call you after. We've got some plans to make. Me and Mouse come for the tag titles.
Yeah, I mean, as far as boxing goes,
from Detroit, Michigan, the new tag team champions of the world.
We're from London.
What's our tag? The Sweet Science Podcast.
I hope you lot are picking up on how quiet I go when he does this because he does this a lot, and I just have to let him go and just carry on, and then we can listen. If you want him to stop, again, comment on the Ras Clark thing. And if you're loving it, then let him know in it to keep doing what you're doing. Give him a couple thumbs up, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's it from us, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 1.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for this, guys. We're learning as we go. So I know that the camera quality might not be great. The actual whatever we put on, whatever we upload, the video might not be amazing. The transitions and whatnot there, I'm working on that kind of stuff. But thank you very much for listening, for tuning in, for watching, for subscribing, because I'm sure you will, and for putting on them little alerts or whatever it is when we release anything.
Just make sure you keep your notifications on at all times. Follow us on Instagram.
Spread the word, please. We're on Instagram.
Subscribe. Make sure we'll put all of the details down below. Down below.
100.
And that's it basically. Well, we'll sort of update you guys if you got any topics you want us to talk about as well. So something important, anything you want us to mention, to discuss, leave comments down below. Hit us on Instagram at the Sweet Science Podcast,
100%.
And just keep us posted. Let us know what you want to talk about.
We like these discussions, and we like a bit of controversy. Throw something out there,
and also
give us your thoughts, innit?
It doesn't only have to be about the boxing, the UFC, and the MMA. If you got any desserts,
100%,
any dessert parlors. Anywhere we can go and get some our hands dirty on some chocolate, on some whatever, anything sweet basically. But even if it's food, tell us anyway. We'll probably do that. We might.
No. Let's not mix it all up, man. Let's just keep it to desserts. He wasn't happy with his. Obviously, Kash wasn't happy with that. That's gonna get thrown away, I swear down. But if you lot suggest something and it's dead, then we're gonna have a problem in it.
Punch you up.
Someone's gonna need a refund in it, because I'm not paying for food that you lot have basically coaxed us into getting. Applied duress and them things there, and then it's dead. I'm gonna be fuming. I hate ordering food that is dead. So yeah, but please do make these suggestions as long as you can vouch for them.
Yeah.
And if not, then you're gonna be put on blast.
Please subscribe. It's Kash from the Sweet Science Podcast.
And I've been Fat Mouse. You could call me either or. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much once again. We are out.
Gone.
All right, boom.